Hi everyone, we all know that athletes go through so much more than we see online, so let's talk about it. Today I'm here with 5th year senior on the Cornell heavyweight rowing team, Jackson Stone, former DEI chair of Cornell SAC, member of Red Key, and founder of Steel Meets Clay Pottery. Thanks for coming, Jackson.
Thanks for having me.
Every time I see you, I feel like you're the most positive person. You're always saying hi. Like, everyone knows you, everyone watches your videos. I've learned that you have gone through so much more than what any of us know, so I want to talk about it. Can you talk a little bit more about why you came for 5th year?
Totally, yeah. I think through this whole time, I really felt like I had a lot more to give to the sport and to the team. My whole 4 years, I guess now going on 5 years, has sort of been laden with little injuries and things like that. Mono, back thing, rib thing, and then as soon as we got sent home for COVID, we were training at home on our own. I was in my basement doing a 4x 30-minute steady state bike, and then I had some weird numbness and tingling going up my arm, down my leg, all that kind of stuff. By the time we got to the end of that, the right side of my body just completely shut down. And so I had no control over my arm, leg, had kaleidoscope vision out of my right eye, couldn't speak, and I always went to bed. I was like, surely I'll be fine. No one was in the house, and then the next morning, my mom was like, how's your workout? I said, oh, well, it was fine, but this kind of weird thing happened. And she's like, you just had a stroke, we're going to the ER now. Yeah. So for the next 4 or 5 days, toned it way down, was doing a fraction of what I was doing in terms of intensity and volume. And on the 5th day, it happened again, except all of the symptoms were a lot more magnified. I just remember hobbling up the stairs from the basement, leaning up against the refrigerator and talking to my older sister Sophie's like, it's happening again. No. And so we went got in the car, drove to the ER, and then they said that's it for you. You really can't do this anymore. Can
you talk a little bit about kind of what was going on during that recovery period? How are you feeling emotionally, physically?
Yeah, it was a really mental battle. I think a lot of injured athletes can attest to that. It was a really long slog. In the beginning, it was really, really dark, and I felt like I had nowhere I could go. I was told I was never going to be able to compete again, do anything physical ever again. My mom came to me and she said, in essence, you can either keep being a victim in this situation, and you can keep letting your circumstance control you, or you can decide how you want to interpret the situation. You can make something of it and decide what the gift is that you're getting from this. And she had me read these two books, As a Man Thinketh and A Man's Search for Meaning. They changed my life. And basically the whole message from these books was we have so much more power and autonomy over our lives than we think. And we are, as humans, really powerful at finding what we look for. And if we're feeling overwhelmed and stressed and anxious and then everything's falling down on us, then you're going to find that. And whatever you look for, you're going to find. You start with little steps, and then all of a sudden, you're only seeing the good things, and you're able to find the things you're grateful for so much easier. It changed from the world is happening for me, not to me. And then I was back. Yeah, and it was good.
I love that. So you started to come back. Stroke things are relatively okay now. You're not having any more strokes.
No more strokes.
Relatively recovering.
I think of the past.
And then there was another injury, correct?
Yes. Yeah. So this was, I guess, about 1.5 years ago now. I was biking back from lunch home, and on the way back I hit something, flew off, landed really hard on my abdomen, and then at first I thought I got the wind knocked out of me, but I went down on the ground and the wind was not coming back. And I was all right, this might be kind of serious. And so I hobbled down the road.
Oh my God.
I walked in my room, got in bed. I called the ambulance, and then they came into the driveway of our house, and in our house chat, they're like, why is there an ambulance here? I'm like, that's for me, let them in.
I didn't even tell them that.
Yeah, because this is a classic athlete thing. I can take care of this myself. I don't need to involve anyone. No one needs to worry. Moved over to Pennsylvania and I had emergency surgery over there. But honestly, the strokes and everything that happened a couple of years former set me up so well for this whole thing with the spleen. I was so well prepared to have another injury after going through all that my freshman year. At this point, I knew how to tackle an injury, that my world is not just rowing. I am made up of more than this. I have eggs in different baskets. I still love rowing and will put everything I can into it. But I have other things that bring me joy as well. I really love pottery. I really love playing guitar. I was learning the saxophone. I think that's so important as athletes to be able to differentiate ourselves and sort of spread ourselves a little wider instead of having everything in your sport. Because as soon as that goes away or is in any kind of jeopardy, you're screwed. Really well prepared to handle the spleen injury after having going through that and sort of strengthen that muscle of, all right, how is this helping me? What's the gift here? How is this serving me? And what am I going to get out of this that's going to help me down the line? Mm-hmm. And so I thought that was a huge change, a huge 180 from how I handled the strokes to how I handled the ruptured spleen. And I think handling this one this way has helped me so much going forward.
Hey guys, it's Sydney. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Let's Talk About It. If you did, make sure to leave a review and send it to a friend. Let's keep this conversation going. I'll see you guys next week.